Ah yes, the Oceanside Spider House. I have the craziest love and hate relationship with this place. The reason I love it is because if it wasn't for the Oceanside Spider House, I probably wouldn't have quite the YouTube career that I do now. But the reason I hate it is because in order for that to happen, I had to go through one of the most traumatizing life experiences that I've ever had to go through. Okay, that's a bit dramatic, but pretty much what happened was I was doing the Oceanside Spider House, and the vanilla reward that you're normally supposed to get from doing this is the Giant's wallet. So I collected all 30 Skulltula tokens. I went up to give the guy the prize, and this is what happened.
Oh, this will do. And he gives us a big one. What? What? What?
So the reason I didn't get the Giant's wallet is because you have to beat the Oceanside Spider House on the first day. If you do it on day 2 or 3, he only gives you rupees. So because of that, I will never forget the fact that you have to do the Oceanside Spider House on the first day. But the reason that clip ended up helping my YouTube career so much is it got kind of popular in the Let's Play community for a little bit, mostly thanks to one of my biggest inspirations and friends in the Let's Play community, Nintendo Capri Sun. He did this really funny clip on his second channel where he did a mashup of that Oceanside Spider House scream with Marv from Home Alone whenever a spider lands on his face, and they were just super similar, and it was just like a pretty funny meme. And that really did a lot for my channel and helped give me a little bit bigger of a base of viewers on my YouTube channel. And if it wasn't for that moment, I'm not even sure if my YouTube channel would have done very well and if I would have continued Let's Playing in the first place. But it's just a really funny memory that I don't think I'll ever forget, and I don't think a lot of people in the 2 clan will ever forget the iconic Spider House scream. And I had to tell the story for all the new hoes who haven't been around for that long, so you guys can be caught up in a little bit of the 2 clan history. It's a very robust, interesting history that they should be teaching in history books. I don't know why they're not. Schools, I mean, the American school system's a flop. They're not properly teaching about attacking toucans. It's honestly a shame, but that's something else I was thinking about. If I hadn't have done those Let's Plays of Majora's Mask and like the Verses of Ocarina of Time in the past, I probably would have not even set myself up to be able to do such good randomizer Let's Plays in the first place. Because doing a 100% playthrough of a series on YouTube is almost like 100% playing the game like 5 times, because you have to like plan out your videos, you record them, you edit them, you watch them back, and then you probably watch them back like a second time while you read comments on YouTube and stuff. So it really gets you very familiar with the game. So I'm not even sure if I would have been qualified to do randomizers in the first place if it hadn't been for my Let's Plays, because they just like trained me on these games so well, and I just have experience talking over them because I've done series over them before. Alright, so the Oceanside Spider House. Honestly, this place is pretty easy. You can get all 30 Skulltula tokens really quick. So being able to do it within the first day cycle isn't a problem whatsoever. And I really like they added these though, because like there's not very many dungeons in the game, so these are some unique little areas, and searching for the Skulltulas is usually pretty fun once you're like aware of all the locations they can be, because like if you don't know they can be all the way up in these rafters super high, it can be super hard to like look up there. Like you just might not have to think of doing it, or like banging into the pots and urns. There's Skulltulas inside there, you might not know how to do that. But like once you figure out all the spots they can be, it's not too bad. This house is super weird though. Like I think it's for sale, but like it's so weird. I'm not really sure. It has like a random library, a dining room, and like a storage room is like the main rooms is comprised of. It's the weirdest place ever. And then there's just like tons of weird creepy masks around the walls. Like I think somebody's trying to buy it. Like at the very end, I'm pretty sure somebody is trying to buy it, and they want to buy it because you got rid of all the spiders. Like they were just afraid of the fact that there were spiders. And I'm like, there's a lot of weirder things about this place than just the spiders, bro. Show your true identity, mortal. And that's what you get. Never fall for somebody asking to show your true identity. It's always somebody trying to steal your soul every single time. Last episode, I made a joke saying that the Westgate sounded like a really good mall name, because that's what Tattle said. She's like, go through the Westgate. And then it turns out it got like a million comments. Apparently there's like literally 20 malls in the world called Westgate. Like it seems like that's probably the most common mall name in the whole entire world. I've never like personally seen a Westgate. I just thought it sounded like an official mall name. And I'm clearly not the first person to have thought that, because it seems to be pretty popular amongst the outlet malls out there. So I really like the Oceanside Spider House just because of how detailed it is. Like, there's a lot of just like small little details within like all the boxes and crates they put everywhere. That room we were in earlier with like all the books, like the library. The fact that you just like climb up one of the shelves that has like missing books, I think that's like such a unique little touch. And I feel like they don't put that much detail in lots of the other rooms and temples and buildings. So it's kind of cool that they did that for the Oceanside Spider House. I'm always curious as to how the dungeon design works for Zelda dungeons and like who does it. Like, I wonder if the same person designed every single dungeon in Majora's Mask, or if it was like a collaborative effort, or if they like split up the tasks between different people so each dungeon would have its own like feel, but then they would still like collaborate to make sure that they had like the same overall arcing themes and puzzles. Like, one job I could totally see myself doing in the future, speaking of like dungeon design, is I honestly think I could become like a level designer or even like create dungeons for video games, because I've played so many of them. I have a really good grasp on how all of them work, and then I know some like basic 3D modeling programs, and Planet Coaster is kind of like a 3D modeling program. It's like kind of it's already a pre-built game engine, so you can do a lot of stuff with it, and I'm pretty used to like modeling stuff in that game, although I know like real 3D environment modeling isn't quite the same as that. But that's like always one thing that I've always like been most passionate when it comes to gaming, is just temple design. I think it'd be cool to just like develop the puzzles and themes for the temples. You can probably tell that by how often I talk about like temple themes and stuff. All right, I hear another one. You can tell there's Skulltulas still in the room by the scratchy noises they make. The Scratchy Boys. This is really where the name Scratchy Boy is like fully enforced, because all you hear is the scratchiness. Some of my least favorite Skulltulas to get in here are these ones that are like up in the trim. I don't know, the crown molding. I've never seen spaces like this in a house before. I feel if you have like big open spaces in between your ceiling and your walls, you're just like asking for bugs to live up in there. Like, that's like a breeding ground. Like, it's like a dark place, like way up high, that's out of sight of any humans. Like, that's the real strat if you're a bug, to get in a place like this. There's like, I have a really big window in my office, and right outside there's like a gigantic spider with a spider web, and it's like kind of creepy to look at, but I'm not like too scared because the window doesn't even open, so there's like no way they could ever possibly get inside. But at the same time, it's just like weird to look at my window and just see the spider. At the same time, he's kind of cute. I named the last spider that was outside of my office Goma, so I should probably think of a name for this one as well. Ooh, I know. I could have seen the spider outside my window, Scratchy Boy. I'll show you guys a picture of him. If you're squeamish around spiders, like, close your eyes for like 2 seconds. I hope it's still alive. Like, now that I'm like thinking about the spider, I'm not even sure if it's alive anymore. It might have died like a couple days ago, so hopefully it's alive, because if he's not, then I'm literally gonna have to post a picture of a dead spider on screen, and that'd be like the weirdest thing ever. Like, the paintings are flat against the walls, and yet the Scratchy Boys are able to be so skinny that the paintings don't even like stick out whatsoever if they're underneath. It's like they have squishing powers. They can get very, very squished up. And also, all of the Style Children in the Spider House are very interesting, because none of them... Oh, I did not mean to kill him. I actually needed him for some clues. But yeah, the Style Children, none of them try to attack you. They're all like friendly. All right, we got the Bozo. We have 3 more, and I'm pretty sure all 3 of them are in the chandelier. They're feeling like Sia. I want to scratch in the chandelier. Oh, and now they're Bouncy Boys. Shout outs to the Mario Sunshine speedrunner Bouncy Boy. He's a legend. Nice. So we did this all so quickly. Feeling just so accomplished. Gold Skulltula Spirits? Spirits, they're called Gold Skulltula Tokens! Alright, I'm gonna leave and re-enter the room just so we can have that boy come back to life. And now we're gonna solve the puzzle. Soldier, stand at attention! Good! Ah, Captain, sir! It's been a long time since I've seen you! As you have ordered, sir, we are investigating the secrets of this place! According to the information I have obtained, it seems red should be shot second. Alright, yeah, so it's one of those puzzles. I remember doing puzzle like this back in like elementary school. I've always liked puzzles like this where you have to decode the order of things. Have you fulfilled your duties? Yes. Ah, thank you, sir. Yeah, this is kind of sad. So after they fulfilled their duties, they literally just end themselves. That's really depressing. All right, so let's see what clues we have. All right, blue should be shot 4th, green should be shot 3rd, and green should be shot 5th. So we have the order for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They didn't tell us the first one we have to shoot, so I'm pretty sure the very first one you have to just like shoot them in until you get it right. You just have to like guess it, which is pretty easy. And then I think there's a 6th one as well, which I'm pretty sure they don't even give you a clue on that. I think you have to just go through it a couple times and then guess. Unless one of the style children, one of the other rooms tells you, but honestly, I'm not sure. Blue, green, I'm gonna guess yellow because that's the one that hasn't been shot. Wow, they're just sleeping on yellow. They don't want to give him any attention, poor guy. Okay, so we know it's not yellow. It's probably not green another time. It's probably blue or red. I'm gonna guess red. Yes, killed it. I mean, it's a pretty easy puzzle. It's like kind of like elementary school stuff, like I said earlier, but it's still fun. It's a cute little puzzle. And I'm not even sure where we are now. Like this, it's weird how like much bigger the houses are inside. Although this whole entire house is practically underground. Like whoever built this house was really wanting to stay hidden. All right, we got a fresh stinking poopy. Now let's see what we're gonna get for doing the whole Oceanside Spider House. Hopefully it's not a red rupee. If it's a red rupee, which it's very unlikely that it's going to be, but there is a chance that it could be. And if it is, I will try to re-replicate the Spider House scream. All right, let's roll up this as Goron Link. I'm not sure why there's a freaking slide in the entrance of the house either. It's kind of a weird design choice. And here's the bitch himself. Honestly, this guy has been a really big part of my life. I feel like he needs a name. I'm gonna go with Sammy Sideburns. All right, Sammy Sideburns, what's up? I thought I heard some loud noises inside and I came to check it out. This place, is this some sort of underground shelter? Did you find this place? I beg you, let me have this place. Not for free, of course. I hope this will do. What kind of motion is that? Is he like skiing in place? Oh, there's the razor sword. Sharper than a razor. Okay, well, that actually gives us nothing because we already have the gilded sword, which is better than that. So we got a sword downgrade. That's why they need to upgrade this randomizer and give you progressive items, because it would have been nice if the Curiosity Shop would have given us the razor sword and this place would have given us the gilded sword and had that like natural progression. But at least we know what the Spider House had. That's where the sword was hiding this whole entire time. It's almost crazy that we kind of found those two items back to back. Like the fact that we found both of those swords back to back blows my mind a little bit. We still have to find the Great Fairy Sword though. I think it's either going to be inside Great Bay Temple or it might even be on the moon. And speaking of the moon, another question I got was somebody asked if I would be fighting Majora's Mask as Fierce Deity Link. And the answer to that question is no, because on my very, very first playthrough I did of Majora's Mask Randomizer on my second channel where I like live streamed it, I beat Majora's Mask as Fierce Deity Link then. And it's just like way, way too easy. And I feel like for this Let's Play, I really want to actually have that fight be the actual drawn out fight, because that's such a cool, it's like one of the coolest boss fights out of any Zelda game, I think, personally. And so I want to like show it off in all of its goodness in this Let's Play. But if you do want to see me fight him as Fierce Deity Link, you can see that in the final episode of my Majora's Mask Randomizer on my second channel. You're also looking for Cafe? I'm also talking to Anju again real fast because I'm going to try to do the Anju and Cafe side quest this cycle. And I had it re-planned out, so we're not going to make any mistakes. But we still have like a crap load of time because we don't need to talk to her until midnight, so we're good. All right, came to the Zora Cape to visit our girl Lulu. Bitch, I ain't afraid of no tidal waves. The open seas of Great Bay have need of your might. Quickly, climb onto my back. You might recognize this little fellow as the turtle from the Super Smash Bros. Stage, Termina Bay. And one thing that always bothered me about that Smash Bros. Stage, first off, in Smash Bros. Ultimate, that is like the most beautiful freaking stage ever. I love seeing it in HD. It's so gorgeous. Second off, it always bothered me how they had the turtle show up to the Marine Research Lab when the turtle actually shows up at the Zora Cape. I was always like, that's not accurate. but it overall doesn't matter that much. I was just kind of overreacting. So the first thing I want to do real quick is just praise the temple ambience and music for this temple so much. It is so good. The music's not as good as Stone Tower Temple, but I just love the soundtrack for this temple because it's so creepy. Like if you just listen to it by itself on YouTube with headphones on, it's just so ominous and like scary. It's very, very like hypnotic, and you can get super lost in it. And then the industrial sounding percussion and with the Foley mixed in, it really just like transports you there. Also, the song just makes me feel isolated and alone, and I think that really works for this dungeon because you're in this gigantic facility all by yourself, and this music just makes you feel like you're just in this random place in the middle of the night, and it's super scary. And then I also just love the whole entire concept. So this whole entire place is just like a gigantic water treatment facility, and it's used to make sure that Great Bay stays safe and unpolluted, so like wildlife can live there. And somebody came through the Great Bay Temple and turned off all the valves and pretty much shut down this water treatment plant. And that's why Great Bay is getting all warm and why fish aren't living there, why the Zoras are like afraid that they're going to starve to death. And the pirates wanted to come here, and they were told that they needed to have the Zora eggs in order to make it into here. So that's why they stole the Zora eggs in the first place. But they didn't realize that all the Zora eggs had to become together so they could hatch and teach you the song that would allow you to come here in the first place. So they were like fed a little bit of information, but they weren't fed like all the correct information. And so that's why Lulu's little children were kidnapped, or pirate napped, or fish napped? I don't know. Why is it even called kidnapped? It almost just sounds like you're referring to a child who napped in past tense. So this is a big switch. These are all the valves that were shut off, and we're going to be turning them all back on to get this temple running again. And I think it was Skull Kid with Majora's Mask that turned all the valves off in the temple, because like Majora's trying to completely destroy Termina in every single way possible. Like he's just like, Majora is just like pure evil, and that's why I love him. One reason I really love most Zelda antagonists is they're truly evil. Like they're literally just trying to destroy the world. They go straight ham on the world. Like Bowser, he steals Princess Peach. Bleh. Literally Ganondorf, Majora, Zant, they're all literally trying to destroy the world as we know it. Oh no, we just turned it off. Okay, we're being counterproductive. Let's go ahead and turn this back on. So while we're working on Great Bay Temple today, I wanted to do a Q&A because I've been making lots of Majora's Mask videos, and I only have so many things about Majora's Mask to talk about, so I decided to allow you guys to ask some questions. So I went on Twitter and just said that I'm doing a Q&A this episode, and had you guys ask me some questions on there that I'm going to be answering in this episode. So let's start off with Vretz, who asked, if you were trapped in Termina, in a Termina time loop, how do you think you'd mentally react and cope with it? Would you run from town, live your last moments happily, filled with sorrow, try to end the cycle? It's like we're Bill Murray, is that his name? In Groundhog Day, but we're in Termina. I guess pretty much what Link is doing right now, or Caffeine in a sense. But honestly, if I was stuck in like a 3-day loop and I couldn't do anything to like get out of it, if I wasn't in this situation where I can like stop the moon and like end the 3-day cycle, I guess like what I would do is I would just like have fun every single day. Like I would do stuff that I would typically regret because I'm gonna go back in time and everything's gonna be erased anyway, so like it doesn't even matter that much. So now I'd probably go and drink a lot of Chateau Romani every single day because I don't have to worry about the calories of it. So Great Bay Temple is a lot like Stone Tower Temple in the sense that it has like two different forms. Stone Tower Temple can be right side up and upside down, and the Great Bay Temple, it has this gigantic columbine or this gigantic mixer in the center, and you can switch the direction the water spins, and the direction it's spinning determines what little passages you can go down here, because you can only swim down the water current with the passages. If the water current's going the other way, it's too strong and it prevents you from going. So I'm going to go through the temple and do everything with the water going one direction first, and then I'm going to go switch it and then do the other half. Eric asked, if you could meet and have a conversation with anybody throughout history, who would it be? And I know this is going to seem like a kind of lame response, because I guess I'm just not super into history. There's not really anybody in history I'd want to talk to. But like one person I'd really love to like just hang out with and have a conversation with for a day is probably Shane Dawson, just because I think overall out of anybody in my life, he's probably had one of the biggest effects on me as a person, just because like the videos I used to watch from him when I was younger, like the comedy he would use, I think really shaped me into the person I am today, with having like a really immature, like lighthearted sense of humor. And I just think he's a pretty inspirational dude, and I think he's hilarious. There's the red rupee. What if that would have been in the spider house? Then we would have had a completely different video, huh? But if I had to pick somebody who isn't alive today, since you said history, I would probably want to not hang out with like maybe Pocahontas for a day. Pocahontas seems like she'd be a badass bitch. I don't know who I'd want to hang out with. That could be a good comment question of the day, is who would you guys want to hang out with in history? Honestly, you guys are honestly a lot more interesting people than I am half the time. I'm just the person that makes the Let's Play videos. Like, honestly, I almost tweeted this yesterday because I was reading my comments at like 3 a.m. before I went to bed. But I was like literally just reading my comments, and I was laughing so hard because some of your guys' comments are so funny. It's like some of the comments on me playing the Epona song yesterday instead of the Song of Healing. That shit was cracking me the hell up. And it's like some of the things you guys say, like they're actually really interesting. Like you guys correcting me on the whole entire like milk mixing with alcohol thing. I need to try. I might actually just do a side video where I try to make Chateau Romani, because somebody literally sent me the recipe on how to make Chateau Romani in real life. And I'm like, that'd be kind of cool to make on camera and like try out. Because I don't think I've ever had an alcoholic drink mixed with milk before, but it seems to be pretty popular. Somebody said I should mix eggnog with alcohol, and like, oh my gosh, now that I think about it, that sounds freaking delicious. I love eggnog, but I've never had it with alcohol before, so that seems like it would make it even better. Alright, we gotta follow the pipe. I ended up turning that valve like way earlier than you're supposed to, because you normally find the ice arrows in this dungeon, but we are finding them quite out of order. I think we want to kill all these lily pad decubabas. Oh damn, my magic killed all of them. Wow. The next question comes from Sir Devious. He said, do you attack toucans, or are the toucans consistently attacking things? And that's like always been the question. Sir Devious is attacking toucans. Who's attacking who? The world will never know. It's been a question that scientists have been asking for years, and they still can't truly figure it out, unfortunately. And I don't even know the answer myself, so I guess it'll just always be a mystery. Burn asked, do you ever think of mayonnaise as being lotion to the bread? And honestly, I haven't. And now I'm wondering if, now I'm wondering if mayonnaise could be just like a lotion for humans too. Doesn't sound like a bad deal. I might try it out someday. Lotion face mask? I don't know. I can't say that it's not a good idea. Yo, Lunatic, he asked, what is the best way to stay focused when you work on a project, and how do you stop yourself from being too lazy? First off, there's a lot of times where I do not stop myself from being too lazy. Like, I'm still a gamer through and through. Some days I'm like, I should go work on this project, but no, I'm just gonna play video games for 10 hours instead today. Sometimes I have those days. I think a lot of us do. And sometimes I just let it happen because that's what's gonna make me happy for the day, I realize. And sometimes it's just best to do what makes you happy, what's the most fun for your life. But overall, like a lot of the times, I just realize that when I do, because I do buckle down and work a lot too. And then there's times I just like convince myself, because I know I'm also happy when I get work done. So I'm just like, come on, Tyler, just do the project that you want to work on, because you know how happy you're going to be once it's done. So I just try to think of the end result and like the emotions I'll have once I've reached the end result, and how proud of myself I'll be. And that's kind of what I use to motivate myself to do things, I guess. Good question, good question. Gordon the Sheep asked, are there any skills or mindsets you have now that you wish you would have had when you were younger? And I think the one thing that I wish I had when I was younger, I just never had the opportunity because there was never a dance studio back where I lived until I got older. But like, I always wanted to learn how to hip hop dance. I always thought it was like so cool. But like, the dance team at my school was female only, and they did like more female style dance moves anyways. I wanted to learn how to like be like a part of like a legit dance group and stuff. When I got to do that and learn how to dance and learned like, and got all of the, and gained all like the self-confidence in myself that I obtained through learning how to dance, and just body awareness and body positivity that you get from being a dancer. I wish the mindset I have now from doing that is a mindset I had when I was younger. Because when I was younger, I was a bit more insecure, wasn't like very secure in myself. When I was an adult, now that I've done like dance classes and stuff, I've really just become secure with myself, and I really wish I would have always had this, especially when I was younger, because it was a bit more of a struggle then. Next question comes from Koi Jesus. He says, ideal first date. Honestly, ideal first date probably has to be like getting sushi and then going to like a club or a concert of some sort. Because, I mean, if I ever get married in the future, or whoever I date, or whatever happens, Like the number one like criteria I have from that person is they have to enjoy going to concerts, because I love concerts, and that person is going to have to be my concert buddy. So that's kind of like the thing that I would do to like test them out, I guess, to make sure that they fit my expectations of being a good concert goer. Like, are they the type of person who just like holds their phone out and films shit? Are they one of those basic people? Or do they keep their phone in their pocket and just jam out to the music the whole entire time and maybe film like 2 of their favorite songs for like 30 seconds to have a couple memories? That's the type of person I like to go to a concert with. People who just enjoy the moment of where they are. So this is a mini boss that we saw in Woodfall Temple, but he's a little bit different this time. And now that we finally reached this dude, we'll be able to do the Dongero side quests. Oh wait, we don't, that's the one mask we don't have, of course. It's the one side quest that we still have left to do that we can't do because we don't have that mask. If I plan things out right, I should be able to do the rest of the game in this 3-day cycle. Like, I definitely think that's possible. But we'll see what happens. I have to be decently good. Dang it. Keep on getting stuck into his freaking frog juices. Gross. Yeah, he like really, this is like not even fair. I wish it was pure harassment. That lasted way too long. I think this frog needs to meet our good boy Fierce Deedling real fast. Next question, while we're fighting this guy, because I have nothing else better to talk about while fighting a frog, apart from complaining about him punching me. He asked, what is your favorite non-Nintendo game? I'm gonna break this up into a few different categories. I'm gonna do my first one, that's my favorite non-Nintendo PC game, is probably Planet Coaster. I know how much I love building my virtual theme parks. My favorite like game that you can't play on a Nintendo console is Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal. Freaking love that game to death. And my favorite non-Nintendo game that is on a Nintendo console is probably Tony Hawk Underground 2. That game just still holds a really special place in my heart. The platforming and skate challenges and like story and cutscenes in that game is freaking hilarious. So hilarious. Get all these good old refills. Alright, we're gonna get another item. This is normally where you get the boss key, I believe. Oh, is it still a boss key? Wait, why is it? Oh no, this isn't a boss key chest. What am I talking about? It's gonna be a good item. Dongero mask? Oh, there's the Great Fairy sword. We've had all these swords really close to each other, back to back to back. So long, and it's so colorful. I love the metal, like how it's like kind of this, I'm not sure how to describe this metal, but I've seen it before. Like the metal that has like the cool colors like in it. That's what this looks like it's made out of. I don't know how that's created, what type of metal that is. I'm not really a metal enthusiast, I guess. But yeah, the Great Fairy sword, you normally get this from getting all the stray fairies in Stone Tower Temple. I'm pretty sure shooting this hand gives us something, right? I'm pretty sure there's a fairy inside that hand. Maybe I gotta use some of my Zora prowess. Is that it? Is that what I had to do? Or maybe it's in that jar. It's probably in that jar down there. They put the stray fairies in some pretty tricky places in this temple. I think Great Bay might actually be the hardest temple to get all the stray fairies in. There she is. What a cute little bitch. Next question we have comes from Treesnip, who asked, what was the best and worst part about living in Missouri? I want to say the worst part, we'll start with the worst, was not having very many people that were super similar to me. I had some really amazing best friends that had a lot of similarities. But overall, I felt like I was kind of a unique individual amongst that area. For sure, not a lot of people like me out there, but there's definitely a lot of people like me out here in LA and the West Coast. The other worst part was the weather, just like the really cold winters and the really humid summers. Not a big fan. The weather in LA is like literally perfect. The best part was probably like the nature. There's a lot of nature, a lot of forests. It's a very gorgeous area for sure. But the other best part about living in Missouri was also just my family being there. I honestly love my family, and that's like the thing, the people I miss the most, along with some of my best friends. I shouldn't have killed that Octorok. I was supposed to freeze him and jump up there. Turn into an Octocock ice block. Stephen Giff, great Twitter, asks, do you prefer your cereal with milk or dry? And honestly, it kind of depends on the cereal. One of my favorite cereals is the seasonal cereal. It's pumpkin spice flavored Cheerios, and I love eating that cereal dry. It is like one of my favorite snacks, and it makes me very, very sad that it's seasonal, because whenever they stop selling it, I get very depressed that I can't have it for a while. But for the most part, I usually eat cereal with milk. I like going up here. You have to climb up the pipe. It's so slippery. Cold, but you'll feel the heat. Oh, the bomb chute didn't even care about us. This is where we use the 1 key for Great Bay Temple that we got from Kume at the target shooting thing last episode. Alright, so this is the recharge room. Go ahead and grab some extra arrows. Actually, we don't even need the magic. Let's just go and fight the mini boss. Mari asked me, what is your favorite song? And currently my favorite song of the past couple weeks is Hottest in the City by T.Y. Dolla $ign. T.Y. Dolla $ign is one of my favorite artists out there right now. His whole entire album, Beach House 3, is like amazing from the very beginning song to the very last song. It was my favorite album of 2018, and he just keeps on topping himself. Love that guy. Eurodite, what's up, man? He asked, is there anything you wish you could do to change about your old content? Things you wish you didn't say or do and act like? And honestly, like, although I was really cringy and weird like in my old content, not that I'm much less cringy and weird now, I honestly don't have many regrets. I mean, I watch my older videos and like think that I was really weird and cringy sometimes, but honestly it's cool to see myself grow. And I like to kind of embrace the fact that I was weird, because that's like who, if it wasn't for my weird cringiness, I probably wouldn't have stood out the way I did back then. I don't know. I try not to regret things in life too much. I kind of just try to accept them. But yeah, there was definitely some behavior that probably was a little bit questionable. But I was a teenager. Who gives a shit? Teenagers do weird things. Just kind of part of that. It's just a part of life that everyone goes through. Jaden said, okay, question. How did your sense of humor become the exact same immature humor as I have? And how did you get so funny, so entertaining to watch? And it kind of goes with one of the questions I answered earlier. I think just like the people I've watched on the internet and just all the media I've watched. Like I've just watched lots of funny Let's Players, like people like Shane Dawson, lots of funny YouTubers, just kind of watching a lot of YouTube starting at a young age. I think it has helped curate a sense of humor for myself that is really relatable, because a lot of you guys probably have watched the same things that I've watched, and we all kind of grew up on the same comedy and humor. And so that's why just internet culture, internet comedy, internet humor. It's kind of that's what we're all, I feel like we're all kind of on the same page on that. But I think that is all the time we have for questions today. I need to go ahead and end this episode. It's been going on for quite a while. We talked about a lot of great things though, and I enjoyed myself. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.